There's a simple question most men don't think to ask women, but the questions they do ask are the ones that stick in their minds. They remember them, talk about them with their friends, and reminisce about their conversations later when they're alone. This simple question has a profound emotional impact. Today, you'll learn what this question is, why it's so powerful, and how you can use it naturally. But before we delve into that, you need to understand something important. Many men still ask superficial and boring questions like, "How was your day?" Routine questions that don't create any emotional connection, leaving the woman silent and cold. If you want her to open up emotionally and be attracted to you, you need to learn a completely different approach. Starting today, I will explain the psychology of female attraction in a simple and clear way. Most men will discover powerful psychological triggers they never understood before. These triggers naturally create emotional desire and require no tricks, just understanding. By the end of this explanation, you will understand why curiosity generates a stronger attraction than trying to impress her. Curiosity breeds emotional power, and emotional power, in turn, creates lasting attraction. Most men believe that attraction stems from constantly impressing a woman, so they talk about their work, achievements, plans, and successes. It's fine to feel proud, but something important is on her mind, and that indicates a strong emotional connection. She doesn't feel as much attention because she isn't receiving any conversation from you. She feels more emotionally connected to herself thanks to the people around her. The quickest way to create emotional connection is to stop talking about yourself. This will help her express herself better. When she feels heard, she feels valued. And when she feels valued, she feels safe. When you feel safe, you open up emotionally. This emotional openness creates a natural attraction, and it happens without any obligation. This occurs because it connects us to the comfort and emotional understanding you feel. Most men ask reasonable and expected questions, such as about her job or studies. They ask the basic questions everyone asks. These questions keep everything calm and emotionless, not sparking anything. But when you ask her about her interests, something changes. When you ask her what makes her happy, she comes alive, feels understood, and begins to share aspects of herself she's kept hidden from others. When you ask her meaningful questions, you invite her to delve deeper into her feelings. She then allows herself to think and express herself freely, begins to feel more confident, and becomes comfortable opening up emotionally, creating an emotional bond. This, in turn, fosters a natural attraction, and she feels understood. Understanding breeds intimacy, and intimacy breeds desire. This process happens silently, but its results are powerful and lasting, remaining etched in her memory. Many men are afraid to ask deep questions, fearing they will be seen as too serious or overly emotional, but this fear holds them back. Emotional depth is not a sign of weakness, but of confidence. This demonstrates maturity and emotional intelligence, setting her apart from men who are merely trying to impress her. Emotional depth shows that you are comfortable in a genuine relationship, and this comfort allows you to be yourself without pretense. Another important fact is that emotional security fosters emotional openness. Emotional security doesn't mean agreeing with everything she says. It means allowing her to be herself freely, listening to her without judgment, and giving her space to express herself and speak her truth. When she feels secure, her body and mind relax. She stops being defensive, and she begins to trust deeply and naturally. Over time, she will develop emotional security by listening attentively and patiently. Don't interrupt her. Let her finish. Ask follow-up questions that show genuine interest. Simple phrases like, "Tell me more," build emotional trust, and simple curiosity fosters intimacy. She will feel respected and heard. This creates an emotional connection. Little by little, she begins to associate it with comfort, peace, and emotional stability. When you genuinely listen to her, she feels something rare and powerful. She feels understood. Most people listen to respond, but she listens to understand. This shift is crucial. She feels emotionally burdened. She feels safe expressing her feelings. This emotional safety creates an emotional need. Emotional needs develop naturally and cannot be forced. They are created only through emotional presence and calm emotional awareness. Now, there is another crucial psychological truth you must understand. There is a difference between the need for acceptance and the need for presence. Excessive neediness pushes people away, while presence draws them closer. When you constantly strive to please, you feel pressured, and this pressure creates emotional distance. But when you are calm and composed, you feel secure, and this security generates attraction. A calm presence creates a natural and spontaneous emotional appeal. Being present means living fully in the moment. You don't always try to impress her. You're not an outgoing social person. You're just being yourself. You listen quietly. You speak quietly. You let silence naturally prevail. Silence conveys confidence. Confidence creates emotional attraction. It helps you stay calm. This calmness makes her feel deeply safe and emotionally comfortable in your presence. When you stop seeking your approval, something crucial happens. She begins seeking your approval. This shift changes everything. You become emotionally appealing by nature. This means she is drawn to you. She wants your attention. She wants your presence. This is because emotional strength generates emotional attraction, and emotional freedom generates emotional respect. Emotional respect fosters emotional interest in her physical and emotional world. Curiosity is one of the strongest emotional triggers for attraction. She feels special when you ask her meaningful questions, making her feel important and valued emotionally, which creates an emotional bond, and this in turn generates emotional attraction. Attraction built on emotional connection lasts longer. It's a deep, genuine feeling that creates an unforgettable emotional impact through simple emotional stimulation and constant presence. Remember this well. Attraction isn't about perfection, perfect words, or emotional understanding. It's about excitement. It's all about presence. When you establish emotional security, attraction arises naturally. And when you demonstrate emotional strength, attraction increases organically. Emotional connection always precedes emotional need. This is a fact most men don't understand or fully apply. A man who grasps the importance of emotional connection will remain unforgettable. She doesn't receive emotional acceptance. Instead, she creates her own emotional space. She enters this space willingly and opens up emotionally naturally. She feels safe expressing herself and experiences an emotional connection. This connection creates an emotional attraction that lingers in her mind long after the conversation ends and significantly impacts her emotional memory. Now it's your turn to apply this knowledge to your real life. Start by asking better questions, listening more attentively, and cultivating an emotionally safe environment and a strong emotional presence. These simple changes will produce remarkable results, and attraction and emotional connection will naturally increase. These results will be unforgettable because emotional strength, emotional curiosity, and emotional presence always generate lasting emotional attraction and influence in a natural way.